This version of the Web API introduces a new type you can return from controller actions, the IHttpActionResult. In many ways, an IHttpActionResult is similar to an action result in ASP.NET MVC, because first of all, it simplifies some Web API implementations. There's less code to write. There's also helper methods on the API controller to produce action results, just like MVC controllers have the view and JSON and partial view methods. And also, just like ASP.NET MVC, there's many built-in action types to choose from. MVC has JSON results and view results and content results. Web API now also has OK results and redirect results and unauthorized results and many more. Action results can also simplify unit testing. If you were previously using the request object to create HTTP response message objects like we are in our code, and you were trying to unit test your controllers, then you discover there was some setup involved in the test to make this work without exploding. With action results, testing is easier because, just like with MVC, you can assign some data to an action result, and that represents the decision your controller has made about what to do next. And the framework will later call execute async to transform that result into an actual HTTP response message. But in a test, you can just invoke a controller action, take the result back, and write some asserts on it without setting up request objects and HTTP configuration objects. It's just a lot less work. So let's see how to use this in our project. Inside the application, anywhere where you are using HTTP response message, that is a place where you can probably now use IHttpActionResult. And if you don't find an existing action result that suits your needs, you can derive from one of the existing action results or implement the interface directly yourself. What I want to do is get rid of HTTP response message in the actions here that are using it. So in this GET request that gets a patient detail, I want that to return some sort of HTTP action result. Now the question is, how do I create a not found result? Well, that's very easy. There's now a helper method where I can just say return not found. And when I want to create a response that uses a 200 status code that sends along some model data, also very easy. There's an OK method. I just want it to return an HTTP status code of 200 and also serialize my patient into the result. So you can see a lot less code, a lot easier on the eyes. Let's do the same thing with get medications. This will return an action result. When we want to return a 404, again, that will just be return not found. And when we return the medications, I can just say return patient.medications. So very easy, and the application will still behave just like it always did. All these APIs should still work, but if I were to write unit tests against these controller actions, I'd notice a big difference. So not only is the code easier to read, but the testing would be easier too.